Welcome back. Time for some talk of the table. We begin in Caracas, where Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez was laid to rest today. The funeral for the firebrand leader, known for drumming up anti-American sentiment, well attended. Cuban President Raul Castro was there. Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was there, and he got a big thunderous applause break from the crowd.
Llamamos al señor Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, presidente de la República Islámica de Irán.
It's like they're all on speed dial with each other. Now, the U.S. was also represented there by, among other people, U.S. Congressman Gregory Meeks was there. He represents a portion of New York. Former Representative William Delahunt of Massachusetts was there. And in an unofficial capacity, Reverend Jesse Jackson was there. He delivered a short sermon and preached better relations between the U.S. and Venezuela. Greg Meeks at the funeral? Why? Anybody?
Well, maybe because he had met with Chavez
I know
before.
I know he
He's
had.
an official U.S. delegation for a foreign head of state who died. I mean, it's a little crazy, the demonization of Hugo Chavez. It's kind of incredible. Those that tend to have politics where they spread the wealth around seem to get a level of demonization that presidents of North Korea don't necessarily get. I mean, this
Fair
is
enough.
just a little crazy. And Joe Kennedy's been validating this guy for years. He's been giving away home heating oil to poor people in this country for years.
But from a PR stand, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, but ultimately he's destroyed his nation. I've been to Venezuela on a number of occasions, and I think it's actually an interesting. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I'm not. I don't. You know, I'm just saying that actually, what's in the 47%. You know, as a Republican, my views, I ran for the 47%, and Chavez destroyed the 47% in Venezuela, and you'll see over the next 2 or 3 years, it'll be calamitous. Lula, a great president from Brazil, took just the opposite tack, and Brazil's flourished. He took the wrong tact, and the poor people in Venezuela have suffered as a result. And then they said, you know, outreach to this idiot from Iran only exacerbates the problem. But that's just, you know.
May want to let the 47% thing go. Might want to let that just fade into the archives.
That's the challenge
of
for the
history.
Republican Party. I've got to demonstrate to people that the Republican Party has a better solution for the 47%. That's exactly why I ran.
All right, let's move on to something relatively or less political. Maybe not. You make the call. Planned Parenthood of New York City says a new campaign targeting teenage pregnancy stigmatizes teenage parents and their children. It says the posters unveiled this week ignore the racial, economic, and social factors that contribute to teen pregnancy. One poster shows a crying baby and text that reads, "I'm twice as likely not to graduate high school because you had me as a teen." Another poster reads, "Dad, you'll be paying to support me for the next 20 years. The mayor's office responded to the criticism, saying it was important to, quote, send a strong message that teen pregnancy has consequences. New York City says that while its teen pregnancy rate dropped 27% in the last decade, there's still more than 20,000 teen pregnancies a year, most of which are unintended. Curious your take on the posters. I hadn't seen them until we started this report. To me, it smacked of some of these really tough smoking ads where it's really just designed to be in your face, but a little surprised the Planned Parenthood had a problem with it. I'm curious just the table's reaction.
I can tell you that I fully support the effort behind these ads. I think they're effective. You have to shake kids up. I speak to a lot of them across the country, and I got to tell you, and particularly with young kids of color, and I'm almost embarrassed to admit this, they think it's okay to have babies as teenagers. And white America can't talk about this because when white America talks about it, you're called a racist. Somebody's got to say to these kids, it's not okay. And you know, that's just my baby daddy. That's not cute. It's been media has taken that slogan and it's almost cute, but it's not cute. It's a lifetime of financial commitment, and anybody can make a baby. Any fool as a male can make a baby, raise that child.
My issue is that the determinant in these ads seems to be race more than class, and the issues Dominic speaks to are consistent along class lines, not just along racial lines. But I have another issue here, which is that there are a whole bunch of folks that are making a choice to have children as single-parent households. And I would hate to see a generation of kids who are growing up healthy and well-adjusted by parents who love them to be stigmatized by ads like this.
Well, I think it's actually a broader conversation. 50% of children born to women 30 and under born out of wedlock. And I think that, so it's the larger problem is, we get back to the Murphy-Brown debate. Do we need two parents? I think we do. I think the #1 social problem in the United States today is parenting. And if you're going to have teen babies, at least get the father involved. Let's keep them involved and let's get them both.
Yeah, but that's not the reality of our society. I wish it was, but you don't always have two parents involved. Sometimes you have one parent who's working overtime to make it right. But you don't want to criminalize and demonize that child and say, you don't have it as good, or you're not quite so lucky because you're not complete.
Well,
you're not complete.
I completely agree with you. We need new policies for single-parent households. I think we're a majority single-parent households today. And as you know, the poverty rate in single-parent households is 30%, and two-parent households is 5%. So this is a broader conversation, needs to be had, and we do need to find ways to support single-parent households. And actually, I kind of agree with both of you. I think we need a wake-up call, and also we don't want to stigmatize people. So how do you wake them up without stigmatizing? I guess is the challenge.
This issue is personal to me because I'm one of those children that's in the ad. Mm-hmm. My father was never involved in my life. I'm not embarrassed to say now, one of the things I talk about with kids around the country is that if you pull up my birth certificate, my father never signed I don't have a father on record. So I understand the point that you're making about stigmatizing, because you do feel that way growing up. But somebody, in the day of Maury, and you are not the father, when this has become cute, there's a consequence to all of this. And all I'm saying is somebody's got to try and do something about it.
It's interesting, too, because there are single mom shows on MTV and things. And of course, in the abortion debate, anytime you start talking about life, people get very firm in their positions and very guarded. We have difficulty talking about this subject, whether it's broken down on class lines or race lines or anything else. So interesting that it's sparking the conversation. We are going to take a quick break. Our snapshot of the day is up next. Stay with us.